War between Israel and the Iran-backed group Hezbollah has claimed more than 1,000 Lebanese lives, including 40 emergency workers. The latest victims were 2 civil defense workers who were buried today. They were killed in Nabatieh, a southern town within an area of Lebanon the Israeli Defense Forces have placed under evacuation orders. The evacuation zone now extends up to the Zaharini River. Special correspondent Simona Foltyn and videographer Adrian Hartrick traveled to Nabatieh for this report.
This is what southern Lebanon under Israeli evacuation orders looks like. Empty streets lined with shuttered stores, bombed-out buildings, and burned cars. Just about the only vehicles on the road are ambulances racing to save the war's survivors. But they have not been spared by Israeli bombs. Hussein Fakih leads the civil defense in Nabatieh.
This is the station. The strike happened over there. All these vehicles belong to our employees. These were our living quarters that are now unusable.
On March 17th, an Israeli strike hit a building just 10 yards from the civil defense. 12 emergency workers were injured. It happened 3 days after the IDF said that ambulances were used by Hezbollah for military purposes, a claim for which it provided no evidence.
We were surprised because we are the civil defense. We are supposed to be guaranteed civilian protection.
The Lebanese Civil Defense is a public emergency service that operates under the Lebanese state. They rescue people from underneath the rubble and put out fires caused by bombardment.
Usually we are 32 in the station, but 15 were on a rescue mission, which reduced the number of casualties.
Do you have any idea what was inside the building that was targeted?
It's right in front of us. It's a residential building. There's nothing there. But since it's just 10 yards from us, you could say that we were directly targeted.
As we speak, the shelling draws near, and Hussein is getting nervous.
The planes are coming, so let us get out of here. Let's go up to the hospital.
We just heard 2 airstrikes that were relatively close. One of them we could actually feel the shockwave, so we're going to leave this place and head to the hospital. The Nabatieh Governmental Hospital is located on a hill overlooking the town. Seeking sanctuary from Israeli strikes, first responders have set up camp in the hospital's parking lot. Since the war escalated 3 weeks ago, Israel has killed 42 emergency workers and injured 119 as part of what the Lebanese Ministry of Health called the deliberate targeting of medical workers and facilities. Dr. Ali Omeis is in charge of the emergency room. He takes us to see a first responder who was injured during a rescue operation. Ahmed suffered burns to his face and hands. He allowed us to film his injuries, but didn't want to be interviewed. He twitches with pain as the nurse cleans the wounds, a colleague holding his feet instead of hands in support. Dr. Ali explains what happened.
There was an airstrike, but the projectile didn't explode. The civil defense were evacuating the targeted building.
But then there was an explosion, possibly due to a second strike.
Ahmad was injured and sustained 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
The hospital has received more than 300 casualties this month.
We are on the front lines of the war here in Nabatieh, and this area is being targeted every day. Most of the cases that are coming are civilians, children, and first responders.
The facility is normally staffed with 150 medics. Only 20 are left to cover the 24-hour shifts. They sleep at the hospital because the roads have become too dangerous. It's quite an eerie atmosphere here at the Nabatieh Hospital in Nabatieh, which is one of the largest in Lebanon's south. Normally, its halls would be bustling with patients. But after Israel placed much of Lebanon's south under forced evacuation orders, most of the population has left. The hospital staff, however, are holding out and have become the lifeline of the civilians who've chosen to stay behind. Dr. Ali sent his wife and 2 young girls to the capital Beirut when the war began and hasn't seen them since.
I haven't taken a day off to see my family, and I won't until the war is over, because I don't want to put them at risk. If I were to come and go to Beirut from the south, a conflict zone, this might be considered suspicious by the enemy, so I will rather endure being away from them.
There are no guarantees the hospital and its staff won't come under fire. A few days ago, Israel hit a building just 200 yards away. The shockwave shattered windows and brought down ceilings.
The shelling has been close to the hospital, not directly at the hospital. I don't know if they were targeting someone or if it was a message.
Despite Israel's forced evacuation orders, Director Hassan Wazni is determined to stay put.
We as a hospital, under international law, we are working under all conditions, war or peace. So we are staying here and we will continue to work.
But international law no longer offers the protection it once did. Israel has already struck 5 medical facilities in 3 weeks, a figure that is bound to rise as the war shows no sign of slowing. For the PBS News Hour, I'm Simona Foltyn in Nabatieh, southern Lebanon.
The News Hour requested comment from the Israeli Defense Forces on the strikes in southern Lebanon, detailed in Simona's report. They did not respond.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.